Zook,
Yeah.
you and Ben limp your way back to the mountain,
Oh god, we're going. Okay.
and you recount the story of what happened.
Okay.
And there is some discussion between Ben, some slightly heated discussion between Ben and I don't have any of my NPC names. I'm not prepared today. Hold on.
Which one's Ben?
He's the guy who survived your banana.
No, I know he's the one who lived. I don't remember which one he is.
He's the boy who lived.
The old ranger guy.
Who was
Yes.
a kid when...
There is some heated discussion between him and Fairdak.
Fairdak. That was the okay.
Okay.
He's the head monk guy, and
Yeah.
about the nature of the monsters that come out of the poison wood. And Fairdak reveals that from time to time monsters do emerge from the wood, but for some reason they never hunt on the mountain. They always leave the borders, and he had noticed very gradually over years and years and years that the monsters were getting more and more feral, more and more aggressive. And this was by far the largest he'd ever seen. And this information had never been imparted to Fairdak, because up until now, Ben and his understudies had kept the issue under control. They put you on a regiment of healing salve. And here's how it works. Right now, your strength was drained by what, 3?
Yeah, from 7 to 4. My strength ain't that big to begin with.
Each day
Yeah,
that you undergo this
dying.
treatment, during a long rest, you regain 1 point of strength until you're back at your maximum.
Okay.
So, we're going to count you coming back home, back to the mountain, as a long rest. So go ahead and take 1 point back now.
Okay. So I get one of those back, and do I get all of my hit points back?
You get all of your hit points on a long rest.
I couldn't remember if I had any issues with that after getting my ass kicked. All right, and I get all my lucky points and yada 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 back too.
And so the story of what transpired with Zook and the Rangers during their hunting expedition reaches the rest of you, and you, as we discussed, resolved to cleanse this poison wood. And Fairdak thinks that this is the most prudent idea. Ben's injuries proved to be more serious than he let on the road. And he's in no condition to join you to go into the wood. The bites that he suffered, he got a much larger dose, a much more potent dose of that poison than you did. Whereas you basically just kind of brushed it. He actually, as I recall, he got like chomped in the torso. Sustained a lot of damage.
Yeah, I thought he was dead actually when he ran off.
Thought he was bleeding out.
I did. I thought he was done. That's why I was just trying to bounce.
And he actually, as he undergoes the same treatment that you're going, I mean, you feel very woozy and very lightheaded as you undergo this treatment, and it involves inhaling a particular vapor. And it's treatment that you can't really bring on the road with you. It's something that is prepared here, and you have to be in a relaxed state of mind. Very, very monk, you know.
Yeah, I think Zook is pretty okay with laying on his back and getting healed for a couple of days.
But
He
Ben,
feels zen as fuck.
he is, like, he enters kind of a state of delirium while he is up at the quarters receiving treatment. But he imparts some wisdom to you all. If you're going to go into the forest, into the poison wood. And he tells you that you would not be the first group of adventurers to try to go into this wood and cleanse it. Other people who have come to the mountain during his lifetime, especially since the monastery has been here, people get the idea that where there is danger, there must be treasure, and as a result, have gone into the woods, even those with good intentions, and many of them have not come back out. That it's a very dangerous place, and he cautions you about the use of fire inside the forests. He tells you a story about he and his father many years ago attempting to burn the wood out, and upon igniting the wood and the leaves of the plants in this place created a thick and acrid smoke which almost choked them both to death. So he cautions the use of fire. He says if this was a solution, we would have done it long ago. The plus side, he says, the upside to it is that it up until now, the monsters that have come out of the wood, the plant creatures that the wood produces, tend to die very quickly once they leave the borders. And in fact, there's been no luck whatsoever in transplanting any of these plants from the woods anywhere else. This has been a destination for wizards and herbalists and things coming from all over to investigate this wood and taking the strange and exotic plants there out, and the plants very surely die quickly after they leave. So the wood is contained to this relatively small area. He says other than that, he hasn't never been into the heart of the woods himself, except like he's gone into the outskirts, but that's about it. He has no other particular instruction for you. So, go ahead.
Zook wouldn't mind resting until he's back up to full strength if no one's in a hurry.
Is anybody else in a hurry?
Like maybe set up guards or something, since we know that they may be getting aggressive.
Yeah, I'd like to set up some kind of perimeter.
Also,
how big is this wood?
The wood is number 9 on the map down here.
It looks like that hedge maze area.
The size of it just happens to be about the size of this table in 5-foot squares. Coincidentally enough.
So you're saying it would be very easy to set up a guard around this forest?
From what Ben has told you, and from what you have observed yourself, having been on the mountain for a week or so at this point, it would not only be very easy, it would also be unnecessary.
Yeah, it sounds like things that leave, they don't survive. If we just keep our distance until we go in, it should be fine.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What he said doesn't match up to the fact that his good friends are both dead. So I don't know how much I trust his word on this. Like, it might not be up to date.
No, I mean, setting up a perimeter, like, you mean kind of have somebody patrol the borders of the number 9 wood down here?
Yeah.
I mean, if you all have, between the 5 of you, 6 if you use Fred, and 7 if you order Cube to do it, although Cube might not really grasp the situation at hand. It would be really easy. And in fact, going down and observing the boundaries of the wood, like Arik did the other day, you see there is a very stark entrance on each of the 4 sides of it. Like, it very clearly does not grow beyond this particular boundary. So is that the plan? We're going to wait a couple days for Zook to be at full?
Yeah, what about Polonius Mock? How does he feel about all this?
He's nowhere to be found.
Tarin needs to go. The next, I would have to see Thoradin to get my armor.
Eldove, do you have any non-magical fire options you could prepare overnight?
What do you mean non-magical fire options?
You mean non-fire magical options?
Yeah, like what do you want from me?
I don't know. I don't know what you can do. I just know you really like fire. Can you also do ice? This is Zook speaking.
I'm not a wizard. I can't change what I know. The magic comes from inside of me. I don't read it from a book.
Says Eldove very contemptuously. So who went to Thordrin's?
My armor was cool.
Tarin
I didn't need to go.
Okay.
He already had my armor. I'm just
you.
going to check on him because he said it would take a week.
Okay.
Did you rebalance this dungeon?
I did.
Uh-oh.
It's much harder now.
I bet it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to ask.
Goblins with magic bombs again.
We did not level up or gain bananas back or anything after the last session. Like, this is considered a continuation.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what level are we supposed to be?
No, I think everybody leveled.
Yeah,
Remember
we did. Remember when I went for when I turned into a pumpkin, you told me to level up between this week and next.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought we leveled. Okay.
So
Arik, I just want to remind you, I was here last week.
Yes.
Okay. Winky wink. Just
What do you want?
I'm just saying.
You're not getting a free level.
He doesn't want your ire.
Don't want a free level. I'm just saying when it comes time for this dungeon, that's been rebalanced.
Oh no, you're all dead.
You can't spell fire without ire.
So you go down to. So Khalil went down to Thordrin's.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
You get down there.
Oh, Khalil's coming with me? Yay.
On the day where your armor was supposed to be finished. And the door of the place has been kicked open.
Oh, fuck.
I'll draw my sword.
Yeah, ditto.
Okay, and you walk in, and the entire front room, which previously had been very organized, is now in total disarray. On one side of the room is the figure of Polonius Mock, and he's slumped over against the wall with half of his head caved into his helmet.
Fuck yes.
Thordrin's hammer,
I will be somewhat pleased at this,
is laying on the ground in front of him. And on the other side of the room, underneath a wool blanket, is Thordrin, and he's not breathing.
Oh shit.
Oh, I mean, this was, what, half a week ago?
A couple of days.
I gave him... Okay.
Oh fuck. I will. Yeah. Let's.
I'm gonna cast Sending on Adric and tell him to get down here.
Yeah.
On Adric, it doesn't work. He's dead.
Not Adric,
You just too late. You already lost your spell slot.
You cast Sending on Adric, and he goes, "Oh, where the fuck is my head?"
Eric, you mean?
It's attached to his body. It's just not connected very well.
Right. So, Eric, that's the scene that you find when you come marching down into the smithery.
Well, I curse under my breath and perform last rites on both individuals and do my priestly thing.
Okay. And looking, you see that Thordrin has suffered grievous injuries at the hands of Mock's greatsword. The greatsword itself you find laying near to the forge, and it's broken in half. Looks like Thordrin got 2 good hits in on Mock, and that's all it took.
Use the sword, huh?
No, Thordrin uses hammer. Mock used that greatsword.
Mark used a great sword. Okay. Well. Hold on.
It's fucked up.
I do have raised dead learned.
Do you have CSI skills?
Khalil does, but I think it's pretty obvious what happened.
Yeah.
Do tell.
Do I smell the pungent stench of banana in the air? I think I do.
I'm not the only one who kills awesome NPCs.
So, Eric, you're using raised dead?
No.
No? Okay.
Or just speak with dead.
I think I have that one prepared.
Oh, it's
I
a
do.
ritual,
I do.
isn't it?
I do. I speak with them prepared. I mean, if that's a thing we want to do, we can do it.
I think speaking with the dead is always a good idea. Keep in mind, Zook's not here right now. This is just me.
Zook is getting Vapo Rub treatment.
Zook is in the hot tub if he's able right now.
You see a fat man.
So,
Tarin, Khalil is
Tarin,
what we want.
your armor
Yes.
is only halfway repaired. He hadn't completed it by the time of his attack. But you do find it.
Okay.
So whatever losses that it's sustained, it's halfway repaired.
Okay. We just want to say my shield's repaired then, because they're both at -1, or... I don't know if you want to round down.
They were only at -1? Well, yeah,
Yeah.
They're both still at -1 then.
Okay.
So you'd only repaired half the damage so far.
What do we want to ask them? What do we want to know?
I mean, I
it's
don't think
obvious.
there's...
Well,
I guess the only thing I would ask is Thoradin if there's anyone we should contact to carry on his work.
I can finish fixing my armor.
Not that.
You can only ask him questions, so...
Do you want to come back from the dead?
That's another question that might happen.
Oh, jeez. Hold on. I have to read what that spell does, too.
There's a really good smartphone app now that has all the spells in it. I don't know what it's called.
Oh yeah, didn't you promise spell cards? How does that work?
Those are garbage. We're not using those.
They're butts.
Do you want to see why those are garbage, real quick?
Yeah.
Let's enumerate this.
Okay.
Well,
I'm really hoping they're going to explode all over the table.
I think that's exactly what's about to happen.
I need a GM call for this. It says, this spell closes all mortal wounds, but it doesn't restore missing body parts. The creature is lacking body parts or organs integral for its survival, its head, for instance. The spell automatically fails.
We went through this when...
No, neither of these individuals are missing any body parts. This is why the spell cards are garbage, guys. Go ahead, take your spells.
God, what is this?
What did you do?
I loaded the spell card mod.
Alright, what's my spell? Let's find out.
Everybody take all the spells you have.
1 second, I'm lagging.
I'm lagging bad.
Oh, I got Vampiric Touch. Nice.
These cards just existing is killing my computer.
Yeah, do you get why this is unusable now?
Over. No.
Can we, now, I have a serious question. Is there like a quick play
stop that, Nodal.
D&D game we could do with this?
No, there's not.
It's just
literally a stack of 300 spell cards that are unsorted, unorganized, totally useless. So we're not using
it.
it.
Tsunami is spelled wrong. This is spelled Tsunami.
Dude,
it seems
I have
like
Delayed
you should be able
Blast
to fix
Fireball,
that,
I have Force
Maybe I'll
Cage,
open
I
up
have
that mod
Meteor
and make it
Swarm.
not crap.
Okay, it would take you hours and hours and hours, but go ahead and do it.
Did you say you have meteor s'mores?
I said Meteor Swarm.
Aww.
Anyway, that's why we're not using that mod.
I was really hoping when he said spell cards that they were going to be like spell effects. So like.
All right, so what's the name of the iPhone app?
I don't know.
I'll grab that.
It looks like it's called Spellbook Master. I'm looking it up now.
Oh, Spellbook Master.
No, this is
I need my.
this
I'll
is
be right back.
this is 3.5.
All right. So what do we want to ask him besides would you like to come back from the dead?
Can you do that? Tarin's a little surprised.
Oh, it's called 5e Spellbook.
We're missing one banana.
Arik shrugs. It's been a stressful day. Okay.
It costs money.
Or a stressful few days. Raising the dead?
No.
Oh. The app, sorry.
So are we raising him, or what's happening?
I'm trying to discern, like, what do we want to ask him?
Well, I mean, if you want to, if he doesn't want to come back or you can't bring him back, you should ask for if we should find someone to carry on the work he was doing here.
Anything else?
I'll look at
Khalil?
because that's all Tarin can think of.
Khalil can't really think of anything either. I mean,
why did you hate me?
Well, maybe
you should absolutely ask. Why do you hate Khalil?
Yeah, no, we already know that reason, or at least the players know. Khalil doesn't, but
all right,
it's made other McDohl.
All right, Arik, what are you doing?
Preparing the ritual to speak with the dead.
Okay, you get up to 5 questions.
First thing I ask him is, would he like to come back to life?
He says that his work is unfinished.
Then I followed up with, well, if he can't finish his work, is there anyone else who he would like to?
His work is his alone.
Bring it back.
Sounds like it's pretty bring back to me. It seems pretty cut and dry.
I want zombie dwarf in our party.
There's nothing else we want to ask him? If not, I'm going to start casting Raise Dead then.
Okay.
It takes an hour, so I get the work immediately. That costs me the diamonds. Sweet.
While all this is going on, Khalil would be trying to set the room to right and dragging the corpse outside and the broken weapon and stuff.
We'll have to see what the monastery does with dead usually? I didn't notice a graveyard on the way down.
They burn them.
Okay.
I like this monastery.
Okay, so you prepare the spell, and it smells like a fishery in here. As
does it smell like dead fish coming back to life?
One by one, Thordrin's wounds close up, and eventually you see the breath of life re-enter him, and he coughs up some blood, and you see his eyes snap open and regain focus for a moment. And he looks around the room, and when he sees you there, he reaches up, clasps your arm, says, "I thank you, brother." And your diamonds are dust.
Yeah, they're gone.
Was that all the diamonds?
It only uses 1 diamond worth at least 500 gold pieces.
Well, yeah, but you had multiple diamonds, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I had 3.
Only takes the 1.
Oh, my one. Right,
and yeah, he confirms what you all have already
suspected.
He was at home at night, enjoying his evening meal. Polonius Mock came down and kicked the door in and accosted him. And he was unprepared.
What was it about?
The man was incensed that I wouldn't make his armor. He couldn't take no for an answer.
His armor? I thought he wanted you to make a weapon.
That's right, he wanted a great axe, didn't he?
Khalil wanted the armor.
That's right. My memory must be scrambled from coming back from the dead.
All those evil people look alike. I don't really care. Armor, weapon, it's all the same.
But he confirms what you all suspected.
I tell him that he shouldn't work for a few days because it was way too stressful.
Who's banging? And stop it.
Sorry, that was my fault.
Nick was collecting dice.
And we still have 3 bananas sitting here because I had to reload the bananas.
I already grabbed mine, I think.
Okay.
So,
There's an Android D&D 5 spellbook cards app.
please take it easy for a few days. In no shape right now to be working on the board.
And he agrees.
Cool.
So what do you do with Mock's body?
Well, I've already dragged it outside, and
So you're gonna leave it festering in Thordrin's yard?
Could raise his head up on a pike.
I'm not raising his head up on a pike.
We could eat him. He's pretty big.
We're not eating the dead body either.
Drag it. So I'll drag it some distance away from Thordrin's house, and set fire.
I
to
performed
it.
last rites on it. It's not coming back in the mid.
I'm gonna go through his pockets for loose change.
Away from the cleric.
Thordrin lays claim to his gear.
Oh, okay.
And to the satchel.
That's fair.
As his
Yeah.
prize by combat, as it were.
He knows he owes us 500 gold pieces, though, right?
And the combat, such as it was, Mock came in with his sword already drawn, got in 2 or 3 good strokes by the time Thordrin made it to his hammer.
The way I interpreted the scene when you described it was that Thordrin won and then was trying to sleep it off and just never woke up.
Well, Thordrin quote unquote won, but the wounds were so grievous and there was no way for him to climb the hill, and he just sat down and died. So that happens at Thordrin's place. He's going to rest up. He's laid claim to Mock's equipment and his satchel. He's going to repurpose the steel. And then at the end of that day, that night, Zook regains his last point of strength. So the following day...
So I'm back up to max strength. Alrighty.
Yeah. Well, your max is still 7, so...
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be scared going in this place. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you want to wait the rest of the time for me to get my armor up, or you guys just want to go now?
I'm up for whatever.
Well, Thordrin's not going to be prepared to work for a little while.
He's too weak.
Okay. Well, I'll just go in with the lower AC then.
I can't believe you guys are letting him take all the equipment and not getting 500 gold pieces out of him. Like, what?
Can I change the spells that are prepared?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do that every long rest.
That's why. Right, I'm just letting you know so that if you look at my character sheet again and you're like, these aren't the spells you had, that's why.
Oh, I have. I mean, I know a couple of spells that you use a lot, but okay, no, you're fine. You're fine. So, once Zook is feeling better, the 6 of you march down the hill with intent to cleanse this poison forest.
Yep.
So, my first question is, where do you enter from? Which direction? North, south, east, or west?
Imagine probably from the south, from where the ranger's house is.
Yeah, this has the clearest path, it looks like.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can get in. There's 4 distinct entrances.
Yeah.
It doesn't...
What?
Should we stop by Ben's house and ask if he has any recommendations? Or
Ben is not at
Yeah,
his
just-
house. Ben is at the quarters receiving treatment.
Did Ben
Oh.
have any recommendations about which entrance we should use?
He's never been inside.
Yeah,
he's
but
been
a
inside.
ranger
He
that
hasn't
lives
been to the
next
heart of it.
Oh.
And he tells you that the entrance closest to his house, that southern entrance,
Mhm.
has probably the clearest example of why people should steer clear of this forest. He is against the idea of going in and cleansing it. He's against the idea of you guys going in. He's telling you what he knows because he thinks you'll need the information on this full errand. It's Fairdak that actually wants the place cleaned out now.
Who's
What he tells
Fairdak?
you, Fairdak is
He's
the
the
head
head
monk.
monk. That gets around.
Okay.
Ben tells you
Oh,
that
okay.
the entrance closest to his house, and he's going to describe the 4 entrances to you. The entrance closest to his house has probably the clearest example of why, because when you go in, you will see several statues of people that have been petrified by the magic in this place.
Oh, hey, let's not go in through the south.
Before we go in there, actually, does Fairdak have any potions of healing, potions of of remove petrification, anything that might be helpful to us? I mean, Zook's already fought one of these things, so he would probably just straight up ask, like, do you got anything that might help?
They do not. They're monks, not clerics or wizards.
What's
What
our
about
party
our ranger friend?
They are able to treat the poison drain, or the strength drain, caused by the poisons of the forest, but to do that, you'd have to go and receive treatment up at the monastery. Ben offers you the use of his cabin as a base camp while you're working on the clearing.
Okay. That's nice of him.
What's in the
What about-
cabin?
Just very basic amenities. Small,
How many
but
hats?
safe and comfortable.
What's
the
our
oth-
party potion situation looking like?
Don't think I have any. I mean,
Yeah,
I have
I
some
don't
of
have
the
What's a
have some of the
potion?
offensive potions from the or like.
Yeah, I think Khalil doesn't have anything.
Oh,
on
I
his person.
actually do have a couple of potions. I have 1 potion of healing, 1 potion of superior healing.
All right then.
You
Should
wanna
be fun
hand-
for all of us.
Yeah, no, I don't have any potions on me.
I have no
My
potions.
recommendation is we hold on to those, and if someone's dying, we
Yeah, no, that's what I was
we-
thinking. Purely as
Yeah.
as a death save.
Yeah, that's what my thinking is.
Yeah.
Will Eldove's statue friend?
Yeah, that's
Shield
what I was
Guardian
going to
come
ask
in?
you guys. How rad as fuck do you want this adventure to be?
Shield Guardian, yes, because Zook wants to hide on his fucking shoulders as long as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, let's bring in. It can't be poisoned as far as I'm. As
The
far as I
shield
know, so
guardian will
yeah.
have a very difficult time maneuvering in the woods.
That's true. He'll
The
trip over
corridors
all
are
the fucking.
tight. There's lots of vines. There's very narrow passages. You could do it, but your movement would be very slow, and it would cause you to have to stop and cut him out, or cut
Alright,
him a
so-
path a lot. You'll
And we
see
should
when I
also
load the
tell
map up
you
what I
to,
do.
to stay in a safe place until we return.
Yeah, I'll have him stay in a safe place until we return, and I'll also have him shoot up something, if you don't mind. I'll have him cast a Rary's telepathic bond on us for an hour after we enter the forest.
Okay, so
The idea is he just puts up the bond and then acts as like kind of a hub.
okay, and you're having your shield guardian do this.
Yeah,
Okay,
because we don't have to be near him.
fair enough. So you guys are attacking from the south.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to load up the woods.
So just let me know when an hour has passed, and I'll let everyone know that we can't mentally speak anymore.
No more playing cards?
No, somebody actually released these nice little covers, which are nice because they don't stack. They always hit the table.
Yeah, this is cool because, like, I know I'm not the only one who saw things that they shouldn't have because of the cards. I tried not to play with that knowledge, but
it's not
now
a
I don't
big
have to
deal,
try.
It's okay.
Oh, I don't want to die.
Okay, so here's the rules.
Yeah, if you die, the bad guy wins.
Here's the rules
bad
for
of the
this
game.
dungeon.
Okay.
Any square with gray on it, like this one, this one, this one, is a legal square for you to stand on without having to squeeze. It's not difficult terrain, nothing like that. But all of the green is foliage. For example, if Eldove is standing here, that means he's squeezed in between this tree here and this tree here. Like he's standing very precariously close to each of them. You can move through the green squares as difficult terrain, but you'll have to make the poison saves every single square you walk through. The foliage is very, very tight.
Okay, so how...
No.
Wait, no, so how much green does a square need to be before it's considered foliage?
Completely green. You could stand on this square safely because it's got gray on it.
Oh, okay,
It's got
I was only
it's got the-
confused because the place you put me had gray on it.
Yeah, it's the teeniest...
I did. Well,
yeah,
that's what I
it's-
mean. Is like you can stand here safely, but understand that
Okay.
standing here represents that you're actually squeezed into this little area right here.
Alright,
And if
got
you're
it.
standing there and a monster pushes you, you're
Into
in
the green.
danger of going into that green. So you
Got
can
it.
you can walk through this green without having to carve a path for yourself, but it counts as difficult terrain, which means half your movement speed. And every square you step on, you have to make a save.
If we attempt to carve a
And
path
this
for
is-
ourselves, how does the forest react?
It would take a lot of time. It would be a lot slower than if you were just to walk through. You could do it, and I would just mark it on the map which squares you've cleared, but I wouldn't say it would take 3 of you using a full action to clear a square.
Okay.
And this is why I changed the spells. I learned freedom of movement.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go ahead
But I'm
and
saving
cast.
those for emergency.
I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis before we go in.
Okay. So yeah, everybody go ahead and place yourself where you want to be standing here. I don't see
I'm gonna cast I'm a goddamn fighter, and I don't need no stupid magic.
Eric's left.
Yeah, Zook
I'm
wants
gonna
to be
burn down
tucked
this
in the
entire
middle.
forest, and it's gonna be awesome. Speaking of, is the forest poisonous?
Oh yeah.
Only if you burn it.
Yeah.
Like, no, if I burn it, does it cause horrible poison fog? Like,
Oh,
am
yeah.
I
They
gonna
told
die?
us that. They
Yes,
specifically
Ben
said
told you that. Be very wary of fire. Any square with green on it that's affected by fire will be very bad for you.
Eldove, that's why I asked you if you had any other spells you
Oh,
wanted to
I
prepare.
missed that part. So wait, like, just is that square dangerous then, or
The square here would
Like-
be dangerous to burn, yes.
or does it like no? What I'm saying, like, if I burn this square, right?
Yeah.
Is it dangerous to people on that square? Or is it dangerous to all of us?
Why don't you do it and find out?
Well, that seems like something I would have tested. Yeah.
Okay, how do you test it?
Jeez. We're gonna die before we even get in here.
I'm not.
Well, first I'm gonna ask Ben if like this is way back in the
Yeah.
time. I'm gonna ask him how he knows the smoke is poisonous. Like what?
He and his father attempted to burn the forest out once.
How far away was he when he got affected by the smoke?
They barely escaped with their lives, and they had just tried to set a fire to one particular tree near to the western entrance of the forest. There is an old bonfire from an old camp that was made by one of the adventuring parties that had come in. And they decided to try to rekindle that fire, and what they found was when that fire was originally started, that's how that particular party died. Just the underbrush on the ground and the trees nearby caught flame. And so when they tried to burn it out, they used a small pile of kindling made out of twigs and leaves and wood from the forest, and it created such a dense and choking fog that they barely got out alive.
All right. So out of character, spells that don't catch things on fire. Can I use those? Like Wall of Fire does not light things on fire.
No, Wall of Fire would definitely ignite these.
Okay.
You wanted to specialize in what type of damage? Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Khalil, I will light a tree on fire right next to you.
He will light you on fire and let you light a tree on fire.
Yeah, unless the fire spell specifically states that it doesn't ignite anything, which Wall of Fire doesn't. It's going to ignite things.
The reason we did it before is because some spells specifically state they do light things on fire. And Wall of Fire doesn't.
I think the reason it states that though, because it always phrases it as things that are worn or carried do not ignite. Is to simplify having to keep track of everything that's burning.
No,
That's
I'm just asking because Firebolt says a flammable object hit by the spell ignites, and Wall of Fire doesn't.
Right, but they both cause fire, and fire causes things to burn.
Yeah, so. I think the only spell that doesn't cause fires is Firestorm, and even then it's probably a Druid Claws.
Alright.
Because, Druids
no, that's
don't want
fine.
anything
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify before we do this.
So,
yeah, that's
you
fine.
walk into, it's like 20 feet into this wood, and you're greeted by the 4 statues that Ben mentioned. They look to be making an attempt to cover their eyes as they cower in fear. In the west clearing over here is an unarmed soldier wearing chainmail, and an elf wearing scale mail and holding a large shield. And in the east clearing over here is a young man with a staff and flowing robes, and standing in front of him, as if to guard him, is a muscular dwarf with very detailed hair. And all 4 of these statues are long overgrown with poison vines.
I wonder if we might be able to take the shield for you, Tarin.
No, it's solid stone.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could take it.
Let's Dark Souls this bitch. Get the solid stone shield. This would be awesome.
I mean, it'd be too heavy for him to carry around. It's like a kite shield.
Oh, okay.
And it's and made of solid stone now. So.
That shit ain't flying.
I should also point out visibility in this plate is low. Counts as dim light during the day and darkness during night.
Add 2 more levels.
So Khalil lights a torch and starts swinging it around.
Yep, that's exactly what I do.
Well, all right, hold on.
I think our monk is up to, our priest is up to something.
Do you want me to send out my owl, do a little reconnaissance?
For some reason I didn't write down what my cantrips do. I want to make sure that my light cantrip doesn't light things on fire.
Your sacred flame of blade only hits 1 square. So as long as you use it in a spot that isn't overgrown, you should be okay.
No, I have the light cantrip, and I think that actually generates like sunlight.
Oh yeah, that's radiance though, not fire.
Yeah. So you're cool with that?
Yeah.
No, the light cantrip.
It's just like a little boing.
All right, then I use my light cantrip on the top of my glaive as a makeshift non-flammable torch.
That's very
That's pretty rad. Let's do it.
Engineering of you? Okay. And so that's what you see in this clearing. On one side there's 2 statues, on the other side there's 2 other statues, and you see the difficulty with which you would move in between the trees as you come in.
Got it. Can I don't have an Arcana skill. I was trying to discern how they turn into stone. Magic as opposed to, say, like poison or something along those lines.
You can make an Arcana check.
Are there any stories from Kiska about something like this happening?
Tarin will totally make an Arcana check.
Wait, what are we Arcanaing?
We're trying to figure out how these guys turn to stone.
Yeah. Basically, if it was
that
magical...
sounds like something that I would have been interested in. Sure, I'll roll that.
Bear with me 1 second.
People turning into stone is rad as fuck.
11.
I almost took the ability to make this happen to people. Nope, 1.
13.
Khalil, you have the class feature Know Your Enemy.
Yes,
as written in the book, that feature is not really useful in this campaign, given that I basically tell you guys the AC and whatever of most of the monsters anyway.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to house roll that particular feature.
Mm-hmm.
I will let you make this roll use to determine the effects of a monster or the properties of a monster that you face. You can choose either history, arcana, or religion and make the check with advantage. And you can do that in this case to determine if a monster did this. If it wasn't a monster, then you're not going to get any information.
Okay.
When I use detect magic, is that through a visual sense, or do I have like a sixth sense when I'm using that to see things, just detect things?
Probably a sixth sense.
So okay. Okay.
My check will be at a 19.
19. Yes, this is definitely the work of some kind of monster with a petrifying gaze. You don't see any wounds, like any bite marks or anything on the victims, but you do know stories of far out in the deserts where you're from, of creatures called Medusa.
Oh god.
That can petrify things with a gaze. And there are other monsters that you've heard of as well with the same ability. And in addition to that, you know of monsters whose bite, the poison in their fangs can turn a man to stone. But these 4 statues don't have any bite marks on them. And the way that they're cowering, it doesn't look like they were being attacked. It looks like they were trying to cover their eyes or cover their face.
So Tarin will close his eyes and cast detect magic.
Well, you do need sight to use detect magic. I mean, you have to be looking at the thing to determine whether or not it's magical. I'm just saying it doesn't glow like in Skyrim.
Okay, well, that's my question. Is it actually sight based, or is it a sixth sense that wouldn't?
Yeah, it's sight based in the sense that you need to be looking at the thing to detect it.
I will pass on the story about the story of the Medusa onto the others as we go in.
Is Medusa the singular or the plural?
There are stories of several of these creatures, mostly from.
I really wish I was.
So is it like one Medusa, 2 Medusa, or like is it Medusi?
Red Medusa, blue Medusa?
Medusa.
So what's next?
Medusa.
Orphan's gonna look at the ground from now on.
Okay.
She's not gonna look in any straight lines in front of her.
Can I be level 14 for a little while so I can just blindfold myself? I have blind sense, but
You can.
oh well.
Well, Khalil looks very creeped out when he sees these statues of people.
Tarin will do the best to watch in the reflection of his shield then as he moves forward.
Okay.
The reflection of his crappy
rusty shield.
Yep.
That's only half of the rust has been repaired.
Yep.
Zook is going to hang in the back and actually roll a stealth check. He's going to try to creep behind these guys
Okay.
as much as possible.
Who's orange dot? Who's yellow dot?
Yellow dot is my tiny
The
owl.
owl. I thought it was
I
an
was
M&M.
hoping it was a skittle.
Okay. So yeah, you start moving forward, and more of the forest starts opening up to you.
Okay, so that's a 16 on my stealth check.
Okay.
Wait, where's Cube?
You told him to
is
stay
back
behind.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? He's immune to poison.
Yeah, you don't know that.
That's more the reason to bring him. Science.
You want him to be poisoned?
I want to find out if he can be poisoned.
Yeah,
you
Cube
see-
dies. Yeah, Cube dies out here, and that's another victory for Evil Man.
On the on the ground in front of you, you see what at one time might have been a path going through the woods, but it's become long overgrown on both sides. There's no stone path or anything. It's just you see where it might have one time been flattened down by traffic.
Do we hear anything?
No, it's very silent, very still.
Zook's got
Really?
his ears up.
Like not even like natural like animal sounds. Or
You hear
chirping
no
or anything
animal
like
sounds,
that.
no
It's just-
chirping, no scurrying,
dead
no scuttling.
silence.
Yes, it's very unnerving silence.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say to everyone else with my mind, we might want to stay quiet as much as possible and talk this way instead.
Yeah, well, that sounds good.
Okay, so you're using the Shield
Okay.
Guardian's
The
USB hub.
telepathy power.
Yeah, the USB hub.
Cool.
We're on
Cool.
Wi-Fi.
Less work for me.
Okay, so who's taking point? Tarin's taking point.
Continuing to try and do my best to look at the ground and just move through the forest with the reflection of my shield.
And you enter a part of the forest where even the clearings are full of trees. As you squeeze your way inward. Now, Eldove, you can send your owl out into the woods, but if you send him up over the canopy, you're not going to get anything.
Yeah, if he... How poisonous are these trees? Like, if he lands on a tree, is he gonna get poisoned?
You have no idea.
Alright, so let's not have him land on a tree.
You saw what happened with Zook and with Ben when they came back with the poison in their systems, and Zook in particular looked very, very weak.
I'm probably... I'm gonna say this to everyone else. That I don't feel comfortable sending my owl out scouting unless you guys have a very specific place you wanted to go to.
Probably just as well. Wouldn't want you to see anything through those eyes.
Arik?
That would be good for science, too.
Before Tarin goes much further, I lay a hand on his shoulder.
Okay.
And I use the guidance cantrip. As you touch one ruling creature before the spell ends, target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Since he's leading, he's going to be the first one to be hit with something awful.
So where's Tarin going?
I would like
He's
him to pass
continuing
that
forward.
check.
Tab the
Into
space
this
where he's
clearing?
moving, so... Well, you're in this clearing here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, like I said, this clearing has some trees overgrowing the center of it. And moving up
That's
this way?
really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sneaking in the back, trying to stay unseen.
And you see another largest clearing start opening up with trees in the center of it.
I'm gonna recommend that we should check this to the left because there's probably another entrance there. Knowing what we do about the forest.
Well, there's 4 entrances, so in any direction we go, there's going to be another entrance.
That's
Sounded
true.
like the... Yeah.
Alright.
Making sure I don't delete the wrong ones by accident here.
Still
Take your
no
time.
sign of life other than the forest itself.
This is strange. We've been through...
Rather than trees, the vegetation in this area here consists of piles of tangled roots and vines, and there's a very nauseating odor hanging in the air. You see more roots than usual that are sticking up out of the soil, and they do seem more solid than the rest of the roots in the place. They don't seem as sickly or like blackened with rot. And those particular roots snake away to the north.
Are they magical? Destil?
I'm not really looking at things right now. Mostly looking at the ground.
The roots?
Roots are on the ground.
Yeah, these piles of vegetation here are not trees. These are like piles of vines and things that are growing up out of the floor. And they're the strong-looking roots that are snaking up to the north.
Is anything on
Actually-
the ground magical?
No, you don't see anything magical.
That's a damn good idea that you guys had seeing things. Like, if Tarin's gonna go first, I can just, not look through my owl's eyes and just have him warn me if he sees something moving. Just have him sit on Destil.
Oh, yeah.
So your owl comes over and sits on my shoulder and you tell me over the mind link to close my eyes and you'll tell me which way to go?
No!
Well,
That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
'cause he's not looking, but the owl is going to...
It's just another early warning, basically.
So it's a canary,
I was
gotcha.
going to say,
It's a canary.
Canary in the forest.
Okay, stop there.
Do you spend the hour necessary to change your familiar into a canary?
Hey, I already spent an hour turning it into an owl.
Guys.
Back where you were.
Everybody move back.
Okay.
I said to stop there.
Is that me? Stop here, or...?
Tarin, right here. And the owl's on your head. You can have your skittle back. As you follow the roost to the north, the ground underneath you starts trembling. And which of these do I need to use? I always forget.
He also sends me a message and says, "Hey, the ground's trembling." It's like, thanks, owl.
Ah!
I'm gonna call you Harry Potter now, choosing an owl. Is that okay?
That's why I chose a white sorcery token originally, but then I'm like, no, I better turn that gold.
It's a golden snow owl because makes sense.
Yeah. Well, actually, if it's a
That's
golden
pretty very
snow
true of you.
owl, I have some serious questions about that snow.
As Tarin approaches this opening to the north, where these roots are snaking forward, the ground starts rumbling all around you. And these three creatures come up out of the vines and undergrowth on the forest floor. And they're huge. These are about 8 foot tall monstrosities. Nothing like what Zook saw out on his hunting excursion. But it would be a good time to roll initiative.
These look at all like the thing we fought on the island.
No. No.
I like this lime green color I found on the color wheel.
Nick.
14.
14. And I'll use your extra character names like I normally do. Arik.
16.
And Khalil.
16 as well.
Who has the higher dex between you?
It's gotta be Khalil.
I got 14.
Yeah, it's Khalil.
And Zook.
19.
And Tarin.
17.
And the last guy.
16 for me, 18 for my owl.
I thought that.
Yeah, you're
you
familiar
always-
X when you do.
Oh, okay.
So you're 16.
16.
You know what? Instead of asking for dex, I'm just going to do this alphabetically. That just simplifies things for me so much. If you guys need to act in a different order than what's on here, you can hold actions. Oh, I took a screenshot. I didn't mean to do that.
Eldove.
Eldove.
All right.
Elbow.
So
Eldove,
Zook,
yeah.
you're in the back of the line, and you have difficulty seeing into this clearing because of the overgrowth and all the people in your way. But you
And the
do see the
paranoia.
three monsters emerge from the ground, one of which is bursting its way through the overgrowth, one of which is coming from the direction of the roots. And it is your action, my friend.
No, I was trying to move stealthily in the back. Do I believe I'm hidden from these things right now?
I don't know, do you?
Let me
How do you
rephrase
feel?
that.
Okay.
If I take a pot shot at one of these things, am I going to get my stealth attack?
Yeah. Well, you don't know if you're actually in stealth. You don't know if
Okay.
they've seen you or not. But if you attack, you will lose stealth if you have it. And this, you can move through this, but it still counts as cover for purposes of ranged attacks. Because this represents trees and things in your way, so shooting through here is probably not a good idea.
Right. So all these things are partially covered for me at this point.
They probably all got full cover from you.
Okay. Rather than push my way through here, I'm going to ready an action for a shoot an arrow at anything I have a clear shot at.
You have
And
a clear
meanwhile,
shot at Arik right now.
at anything hostile that I have a clear shot at, and in the
Arik's
meantime,
pretty
I'm going to
hostile.
try to stay hidden.
Eric gets grumpy
So
when he wakes
if you
up.
have, if any of these things move into a position where they're not obscured by cover, you're going to shoot an arrow at it.
Basically, if they approach me and I have a clear shot, I'm going to take an arrow at them.
So if one moves towards you, you're going to shoot it. If it doesn't have concealment.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, if I have a clear shot
Okay.
from here, so if it moves here, here, here,
Okay,
I'll
gotcha.
take a shot at it.
Tarin.
Let's go ahead and Eldritch Sword Blast. Oh god, why?
Eldritch Sword Blast.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Firing lasers from his sword.
Wait, which one are you blasting? This one here?
Yeah.
The front one? Okay.
Plus 9 to hit, plus 10 to damage.
Don't forget you get a +2 that I gave you.
Oh, that's mandatory on the first roll I make?
I believe so.
Is it on attack rolls or skill
Once
checks?
before this, one ability check. It
Yeah,
can
this
roll
is
the die
an
before-
attack roll, not an ability check.
All right, cool. Never mind.
So
do
the
that.
first attack hits a armor class of 16, and the second one hits 13.
16 and 13?
Yeah.
Both go wide. So you let loose your Eldritch Blasts, and...
I was using my sword, sorry.
Oh, your sword? Okay, I thought you were using your blast. Yeah, you start hacking this thing with your sword, and you get tangled up in the vines and the branches that make up the thing's body and wrests it away, but it does not seem like you've done any damage to it.
That's the end of Tarin's turn.
Arik.
Oh, hello.
PK fire.
I'm going to actually reduce the size of these guys so they fit into a square. They're actually larger than that, but for ease of use. And you see, these things, they're not as tall and as bulky as Weldon is, but you see where they're constantly brushing against the undergrowth as they move. They are, of course, unaffected by it.
Of course, that makes sense.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm okay if I move into this spot, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm gonna go there, and I'm going to cast Thunder Wave.
Okay.
A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from me. And with any luck, that'll push right into Zook's line of sight. Maybe.
So you're only hitting this one, you're not building the cube to push all these guys too? Because that'd be hilarious.
No.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Not that mean.
So it needs to make a save? What kind of save?
Constitution.
Con? Assuming your spell save is more than 10.
Yes.
Okay, so it takes how much damage?
2d8.
Okay, roll it.
Alright. Let's do some mixed dice. 9 plus 7 is 16.
16?
16 damage, and it gets pushed 10 feet.
10 feet away from you, towards Zook. Well, that'll put him here, which means he's still got cover from Zook.
Oh. Damn it.
But you blast this thunder element, or this plant
Thunder
elemental
wave.
monster with your thunder wave, and the force of it knocks him back into the trees.
Oh, shit.
And you see parts of him break off and rain down onto the ground. And as you blow him into the foliage over there, you see his body kind of merge into the trees and vanish as you shove him away from you. You still see...
In the interest of full disclosure, it also emits a thunderous boom audible up to 300 feet.
Oh, well, then the entire forest heard that boom.
Okay.
So much for
Awesome.
staying quiet.
Yeah.
Everything knows
right?
you're here.
Just full
Great.
disclosure.
Thanks, Arik.
Eldove.
Yep. Thanks for
No
thanks
problem,
for
guys.
quiet time.
All right. I have a slightly complicated turn.
Okay.
I'm going to
We expect
burn
no less.
a couple sorcery points.
Okay.
He said burn,
And-
and I got very worried for a second.
I'm gonna burn this whole place down.
And I'm going to have my owl use a shocking grasp on this guy right here.
Okay. That's a cantrip, right?
Yeah, it's a cantrip. So let me just roll that.
Is that a to hit roll, or do I need to save?
It's a hit roll.
Okay.
Do these guys have anything metal?
No, these things are made entirely of plant
That
matter.
was a joke. I
Gotcha.
figured that one out. Let me make sure this is a to-hit roll, actually. I just assumed it was.
I assume
Yeah,
it
it's
is
a
too,
hit.
because shocking grasp usually is.
Yeah, it's a to-hit roll. It's 19.
That hits.
Alright, so 1d8, 2d8 for 5th level, 3d8. So let me take those out. God damn it. There we go. 6 damage.
6 damage?
Yep.
So, Tarin, from where you're standing, you see the owl, who was resting on your shoulder, dive forward at this creature and dig its talons into the plant matter that makes up the bulk of its body. And you just see electricity shoot out of its body and into its talons and into the monster, and the whole thing just writhes with what looks like might be pain for a moment. And then the owl lets go.
It looks a little different than that.
Does it?
Because the
Oh, God.
it's an owl.
Here we go.
So it has an ability called Flyby. So it flies off of Tarin, flies into the monster and delivers the shocking grasp, and then flies away.
And goes where?
Goes right here.
Flyby is actually a very dangerous ability if a creature other than an owl uses it. Wait till you guys have to fight a rock or something. Actually, I don't even know. I don't think rocks have flyby.
Well, no, we had like flyby monsters that were attacking us from the air. Like
that's
in the
true.
second
You did
session.
in the island adventure. Yeah, those birds had flyby, and you.
It was awful.
And then what does that do?
As a free action.
Well,
Erik
that was actually my
Eldove.
spell attack.
Okay.
So I move over here. I'm going to join my owl.
Okay.
Join my owl.
Khalil.
Oh, wait. I used the sorcery point. That's right. The reason I use the sorcery point is because I cast haste on Orphan and Tarin.
Oh,
Orphan and Tarin?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't think I needed an extra attack die, but I will. Thank you.
That was the reason why I used the sorcery die.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to do 2 spells. Khalil.
All right, this guy. I'm going to take a step over here.
Okay.
And I'm going to sword it.
Do it.
I'm going to sword it with gusto.
Gusto, huh? I would
Yep.
use a sword, personally.
Yeah. 24.
Gusto is the name of the sword.
That hits.
Plus 7 is... That's 13. Extra attack.
Okay.
17.
So what's the total damage? Oh, yeah, AC 17, that hits.
Okay. Let's see, 13 and another 11 is 24.
24?
Yep.
So you step forward and engage with these, with the creature in front of you here.
Mm-hmm.
And you deliver 2 solid sword hits. And you carve through some of the vines and the plant matter that makes up the creature. And you see your sword bite through it very cleanly with both strokes. And it kind of reels back for a moment. So Orphan's going to get 37 attacks now.
Orphan's gonna forgo. Can she see some of these creatures?
You can see all 3 of them. Yeah,
Okay.
you can see this one moving and writhing about, but this is a legal square for you to attack too, because there's gray on it, so it's safe for you to attack him.
Okay.
To attack one of them that's sitting in a square with no gray on it, like this square here, with a melee attack, you'd have to make a save.
Okay.
It'd be too dangerous.
Does Orphan have melee attacks?
Not for me, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't know if Orphan has melee attacks.
No, I've never seen her use one.
I thought she was a punch wizard.
Wizard
Alright,
type element.
So those 5 key points I just tossed or tried to toss in.
Okay.
My first action is to put up Eternal Mountain Defense.
Okay.
So now I have resistance to all non-magical bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing damage
Nice.
for an hour. So that should probably last me the rest of the session.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Well, I don't know about the rest of the session, but...
Well, yeah,
We'll see.
definitely the rest of combat. Maybe the rest of the next combat too. And then after that, she's going to get her second action in, which is 2 attacks.
So haste gives you 2 actions. Your first action was to use that ability. The second action was to get all your attacks. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm only going to get 4 attacks rather than 6 because
Okay.
I used one of my actions to do stone skin.
Okay. So what AC did those hit?
Those will hit 20.
That'll hit.
So I'm going to grab some dice.
Is haste plus 2 AC as well?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And your speed is also doubled.
Yeah.
Probably
So
won't
Orphan
matter.
can go anywhere she wants. Let's see. This is a 9 plus.
And then Orphan leaves the forest.
I'm liking. I'm
So
liking the. Go ahead.
17 damage on this
17 damage total.
so far.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend 1 more key point to do 2 more attacks.
Okay. Flurry of blows.
Flurry of blows. These will both also hit.
Yep.
And that'll do 12 plus. So that's 20 more damage.
20.
So that was, what, 37 all told?
Yeah.
And so you start raining blows down on this creature that had just been pushed back into the woods here. And you see that part of it is melding into the trees where Arik had pushed it. But the parts of it that are still very visibly monster, you're raining your fists down, and your fists are just tearing through the plant matter that makes up this creature. Like, you're doing severe damage to it.
Remember that my fists are magical now.
Oh yeah, I know.
Oh, wait, Tarin, take that 2 AC away.